boys and girls, welcome back to the underground lair. It seems like this is not bass week, but it's bass month. We have today a Rickenbacker, and I don't know if it's a 4001 or a 4003. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we're still out here, and I talked to Rickenbacker just now, and that lifted bridge is actually the way it's supposed to be. He says it's not supposed to sit flat on a body. Alright, and they don't have a setup spec for the relief on the neck. I just need to leave that flashlight where it is. So he says make it as flat as possible with strings on it and to tune. So that's what we're going to do. And the string height, for those who want to know, is you want 2 30-seconds measuring at the 12th fret on the treble side and 3 30-seconds on the bass side. Now you know whether you want to or not. So I'm going to continue to unstring this, polish the frets, adjust the truss rod, yada yada yada. Alright boys and girls, we cleaned up the frets, polished the fingerboard, we put some lubrication on the tuning machines, and we're ready to string it up with flats. You do need a 1/4 inch, where did it go? Aha, a 1/4 inch wrench for the 2 truss rods. And what I did is I made it kind of straight to the eye, and we'll get the strings on there and see what it looks like. Like I said, Rickenbacker doesn't give you, Rickenbacker, sorry, they don't give you a spec for neck relief. It just get it as flat as you can. So we will string it up. We'll see where it is. We'll back off the string tension, adjust the truss rods, tune it back up, back and forth, until we find a place where it's as flat as it can be without any string buzz, with string height being where they want it at 2 30-seconds at the 12th on the treble side and 3 30-seconds on the bass side. So let's do the string up and I'll be back. Okay, we got our Rick all tuned up. Kinda. Everything's still kind of settling into being used to flats instead of rounds. It'll need to sit overnight, of course. But we have our string action at 2 30-seconds or 4/64 and 6/64 or 3 30-seconds, which is exactly where they want it. Our relief that I ended up living with is, I think, 12. Let's see here. I'm holding down at the last fret, since there's no real measure, and there's 2 truss rods. So I've got a hair under 10. Yep, right. Well, actually, if I held the string down, get my muscles to work. I'm holding the string down. I've got just barely 10. And if I hold the string down here, I got 10 thou. So I got the neck as flat as I could make it. Once again, it'll change by tomorrow, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Pickup height. And notice that the neck pickup is way too high. So we're going to drop that down some. Hey, there's the train. Still too much. Don't want to fall off the thread. That's, actually, I think as far as it's going to go. Yeah. Let's bring this side down too. Had to mess around quite a bit with the mutes to get them to all work. Can't have one string muted and the other one not. Let's see here. That's about as good as we're going to get that neck pickup. I think, nope, still got to go down a little bit more, so maybe I'll get more out of, nope, it's done as far as it'll go. Not doing anything right now other than it's done into the cavity as far as it'll go, so. It's a little higher than I like it here, but they're typically lower output than what you'd find on, say, a Fender. So they can live with being maybe a bigger screwdriver. You could live with them being a little bit closer. Let's see here. The same deal. They just put big honking screws here. That's good. This side, gotta go down. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, boys and girls, I don't think I was the first monkey in here. I was trying to get the string mutes out of the way, and I unscrewed it to the point where the little bar that holds the string mutes up fell out on the bass side and just fell into the cavity. So I just had to take the whole bridge off and reassemble the thing underneath, and somebody had bent that. There is a little bit of a radius to this, but they really bent it up and over so that these two strings, no matter how loose I made the controls for the mutes, they stayed muted. So, alright, so we moved the mute out of the way. I think I covered that in the video. It's still touching on the A, and it's out of the way there. Now, bridge is really hard to get to. I did some research and found that these things, with the Phillips on one end and the flathead on the other, you can get in and adjust the screw, as long as that screw is not buried there. However, okay, this one, the screw is accessible, but you gotta loosen it the heck out of the way. So what's the difference between having accessibility to the screw and having to loosen it all off and just adjust it, because I can't get to the E or the G the way the bridge is. G is right on, so okay, we just have to adjust those three. So I'm going to loosen all the screws, pull the bridge out, make some adjustments, and hopefully we nail it without blowing out a string. So here we go again. E is still a little flat. The A is still a little flat. D is on. G is on. Okay. So we got to move two more. The E is in. The A is not in yet, but I can get to the A. Let's double check our D. G is good, D is good. The A is the only thing. Just a little flat. Aha. Well, dang it. Okay, we got to flip the bridge over. Starting all over again because we had to flip this saddle right here over. See, one side's longer than the other. I would write a nasty letter to Rickenbacker, but I'm sure every other tech out there has written a nasty letter to Rickenbacker. why Getty probably went to the Badass Bridge on his Rick. His tech probably got tired of it. Just gonna have to go back to, where were we here? Were we still flat? No, I think we're good actually. We're good. Yeah, I'm not touching that. We're good. Alright. Let's see, what else do we gotta do? After all that goofing around, let's double check our relief and string height. Come on. Need this. Need a capo. Be at the last fret. We need a 10th thou. And that's still perfect. Okay. And our string height should still be perfect. 3:30 seconds. And 2:30 seconds. Yeah, we have to raise that up a little bit. Ah, boy. Let's hope this doesn't throw us out of whack too bad. Just going to raise it a little bit. Oh, I wonder, I forgot about that. The second truss rod. Could actually loosen that second truss rod here. This is going to throw everything out the window, I think. I think that might do it. Back to intonation. We're good. Okay, everything is good. All you had to do is swap that saddle around. Now let's plug it in and see, make sure it makes sound. Sounds like a bass. Sounds like a Rickenbacker. Alright, so what did we do? We adjusted the pickup height, which double check that since we changed things a little bit. Remember, I couldn't lower this any further because it was on that whatever in the cavity. Intonation, string height, both thrust rods adjusted properly, string height at the first fret correct, polished, cleaned the fingerboard. Other than just a little bit more wipe down, we're going to call this done. Tell Buddy to come get his Rickenbacker 4003. I want to thank you for joining us down here in the underground lair for another episode of Stringman Guitars. If you need your axe sharpened, I'm as close as the Facebooks. Instant message me, we'll get you in line. And tell your friends, tell your mother, tell your dad. Anyhow, be good to each other. Take care of the old folks. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Peace. Have a great night, great weekend.